Hi guys, it's Lynette. Let's make some smothered pork chops. First things first, I have about 3.5 pounds of bone-in thick cut pork chops in my bowl. And I'm going to pick one up just to show you how thick they are. Next, we're going to add in 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. We're going to use our hands just to rub that vegetable oil all over our pork chops just like this. And once our oil is rubbed in, of course, we have to season our pork chops. Now, I have my own seasoning blend here that I will list the ingredients for at the end of the video, but feel free to season your pork chops however you like. You do want to leave a little bit of seasoning behind because we're going to sprinkle that on before we pop our pork chops in the oven. So we're just going to rub all that seasoning into our pork chop just like I'm doing here. You want to get all that seasoning and they'll look just like this once they're seasoned. Next, we're going to add in 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. And we're going to rub our flour into our pork chop just to get a nice coating on our pork chops. And once our pork chops are coated with that flour, they'll look just like this. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pork chops and we're going to add our pork chops to a roasting pan. Now I'm just going to lay them out in a single layer just like I'm doing here. And next we're going to top our pork chops with 1 large onion that I just sliced up. Once our onions are in the pan, we're going to pour in 4 cups of low sodium chicken broth, which will be the whole container. And then we're going to go back in and add the rest of that seasoning that we didn't use earlier that's in our bowl. So we're just going to sprinkle that seasoning right on top of our pork chops. Alright, once the seasoning is on, they'll look just like this. We're going to top our pan with aluminum foil, and you want to make sure your pan is covered tightly. We're going to pop this in a 325-degree oven for 1 hour. After an hour, our pork chops will look just like this. We're going to remove the lid, increase the heat to 425, and bake our pork chops for an additional 10 minutes to get a little bit of color on them. Now, we know pork chops tend to dry out, so at this point, our gravy is not thick, but we're going to remove the pork chops from our roasting pan. We're going to put our roasting pan back in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes so our gravy is nice and thick and looks just like this. We're going to add our pork chops back to the pan and we're going to, of course, smother them in that wonderful, delicious gravy. And once they are smothered, they'll look like this. Oh my goodness, they are so tender and so delicious. I'm going to use my plastic fork and knife and cut one just to show you how nice, moist, tender, and delicious they are. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm going to grab that piece. Look at that pork chop. Hopefully you all give this recipe a try, and I will talk to you all later. Bye, guys.